Next point is identify the data types of each seed. So what type of data that is, whether it's a numeric, categorical, date or string, that also has to be, you have to identify. Now one more important is dealing with missing data, or in the sense if you have any null value, how you have to take care of those kind of null values. So how to deal with the missing values? Whenever you find null values in this columns, any of the columns, right? Normally what happens is it will create a problems during the analysis. So in order to remove those null values, most of the cases analysts they will replace this null values into zero. Okay, that is the most of the cases. But there are some certain cases where you cannot replace zero values. So you need to make sure that before replacing any zero values, you have to check with your project manager whether replacing the zero value will make sense. There should not be any issue because of that zero value as well. It should be aligning, it should be aligned with the project objective. Okay, so in this case, in this project, we are not going to replace null values into zero values because in this project, if there is a blank, it doesn't mean that it is value is zero. Both are different in this case. Why I am saying this? Because I'll just give you an example why we are not considering null value as zero here in this case. So this is the study of publications, right? So the publications will have kind of it will be published in particular journals, and there will be some databases which is combination of journals. Okay, and there is a term called indexed. In this project there is a term called index means if the title is present in particular database with certain citation information, like okay, these are all database and these are all citation. Now if the citation value of title 1 is 3 in this database, 2 in WOS, 0 in GS, whereas title 2, 5 in SCS, SCO, and nothing is there in WOS, means it is not presented in WOS. Yeah, 2. Okay. So the difference between these null values and 0, it means here the title is present and the citation value is 0. Whereas in this column or for this title, it is not present in WOS. That's why it is blank. Okay, it is not present in WOS. Whereas in title 1, it is present in GS, but the value is 0. So there is two meaning here. One is title 2 present in WOS, sorry, not present in WOS, whereas title 1 present in GS. Okay. If you put 0 here, it means the title 2 is present. So in case if you are going to change or replace, how you are going to do that? you can replace, you can select particular column. So for that you have to go to Power Query Editor. How to replace null values to 0. For example, I am just showing for you to know how you can replace for other project, not this project. Select the column. There is a replace values. Value find null, replace with 0. Okay. Now all the value with null value is replaced to 0. Now it's the LOCF, right? What is the meaning of LOCF? Is last observation carried forward. What does it means? I will show you with one example. Okay. Now in this case, there are some null values here, right? This is null values. This is one null values. This is one null values. Okay. Uh, and this is one null values. Now in last observation carried forward, we are just replacing this value into the previous value. I am putting 1 here. I am putting 3 again here. I am putting 4 again here. Okay. So this is called LOCF. Instead of missing values or null values, we are putting the last observation values. That's why it is called LOCF. Lightwise deletion means you can, if you don't want that particular row, you can delete that as well. Now suppose you have this value contains 0 or null values, and you don't want this particular rows yeah, this particular rows to be analyzed, then you can delete also, because it will not contribute to your analysis. But in this case you have to be very careful. You should not delete just like that. For that you have to check with your project manager whether deleting any row, whether it will do any kind of effect to the entire project. There should not be any problem later on. So before deleting, just make sure that you are deleting the rows that is not affecting your project, or the it is not affecting your analysis. Okay, so LOCF and this lightweight deletion, right? It is called this one. So this process will be carried out in this data cleaning part. Then we have handle outlier. What is outlier means? Outlier means there are some values which cannot be expected. Let's say you have a column. If you have a column with all these 0 to 6 values, and suddenly there is a value 1000 or 1 lakh, you got a 10 unique ID, its value is 1 lakh. So it means that something is wrong in this data set. It may be correct very rarely, okay, but it is an outlier means because of this there will be a lot of difference within your analysis. You cannot draw a chart, you cannot draw a kind of the pie chart or the analyze trained analysis. You cannot draw by using 0 to 6 and suddenly there is a 1 lakh, right? There will be a lot of difference. I will show you. Okay, I have explained the process. So here I have outlier. I'm explaining. Let's say this is unique ID, and I'm going to create a line chart. See, can you see that 0 to 8 can able to analyze, we can able to see 0 to 8, suddenly there is a spike here up to 1 lakh, right? And suppose again this is 11 is uh, 2, and 12 row is 3. So everywhere there is a the value is range from 0 to 5. Suddenly there is a row 1 lakh, means it is not making sense. So you have to understand this. This is called outlier. So how to identify this outlier is, there are a lot of uh, option are there. One option is you have histogram, another is scatter plot. I just show you one example in here, right? Because it is very clear 1 lakh. So I just show in this chart to make you understand. But you can always check in. Normally, the standard process is you can check either in scatter plot or histogram. So this is called scatter plot. Okay. See, here everything is in one line, but suddenly there is a spike here. So this is called outlier. You have to remove this kind of outlier before processing your data or before going for analysis. Then we have, yes, this is very important chapter. Okay, this itself is a chapter. Even you might have learned in SQL how to join two data sets, how to delimit, or how to concatenate data. So this Power BI project also require this type of analysis during the data cleaning itself. So join means, suppose you have multiple data sets and you want to join in one place. You can use join functions. There are a lot of join functions are there that can be done. So that will be a separate video. We can make a separate video for each type of join. But in this, you just try to understand that in join functions, uh, if you have a multiple data sets, okay, and during your analysis, if you want to add few data sets in a single data set, right, single sheet, in that case you can use the join. It can be two tables you can add by using a unique id.